Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pickguardian Custom Pickguards.
Jared Brandon Wound Pickups.
Hey, it's me, Todd Novak. We are thrilled to be in your ears right now. This is so exciting. You might want to grab a Q-tip.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or two.
Hey, everybody. We're going to talk about guitars and pedals and gear and all the cool stuff associated with that. And we're happy that you are along for the ride wherever you are listening. And by the way, wherever you're listening, we'd love to hear from you. So send us a little note. We get a lot of them. We like them a lot.
On the socials.
Yeah, and we respond too. We have a lot to talk about today. It is very exciting. Today is our Christmas list reveal.
I cannot wait.
The Knobs
I can almost hear
Christmas
the jingle
list.
bells.
That's right.
We need jingle bells.
2017. Yeah.
Sorry.
Are those your jingle bells?
I'm trying to be.
Very bad jingle bells.
Use your imagination, folks.
So let's see here. We got a couple things we got to get through first. And I shouldn't say get through.
No.
They're important, and I think they're good to know. First of all, I want to let everybody know that we are listening to our own voices right now on our new Grado headphones out of Brooklyn, New York, handmade in a little teeny tiny townhouse.
I forgot I had them on.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm looking at them right now. They're there.
They're
on your
extremely
head.
comfortable, and they sound great.
They absolutely do. They're super great. And so we want to thank Grado for supplying those for us.
Thank you.
So be sure to check them out at gradolabs.com. You'll appreciate it. And I know they will too. They're good people.
And they're handmade, right?
I mentioned that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you should listen to the podcast, Tony.
Well, we're on a podcast?
Gradolabs.com. Check them out.
Yeah.
We also want to mention that all the things that you are going to hear us talk about today can be found somewhere very special. Where can they be found, Jared?
I'm going to guess reverb.com.
You better believe it. Everything that we are checking out is available at reverb.com. If you got musician friends or if you need to get out a Christmas list of your own, Reverb is definitely the place to go. One of my favorite things is looking at the hand-picked collections page. It's talking about everything from price drops to new gear releases. And there's also, when you get down to some of the particular artist series, so like the Gear of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers is on there. So I checked that one. I was like, whoa, what? So they got all the gear that they, were using. If you don't know what you're looking for, that's a great place to go.
And they have a great app.
I tell you what.
Excellent app.
I bought and sold a lot of things on Reverb, and I've had to call customer services a few times.
And you actually talk to a person?
I talked to a person, and they're outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding service.
Yep.
Well, that's cool.
So used, new, boutique, handmade, it's all in there. Check out reverb.com, especially for our list of stuff. And that's going to be you can access that on our website or look in the socials. We're going to have our typical blog like you would see our Four on the Floor, but this will just be our Christmas list. 2017. Hey, Tony.
Yes.
What else is going on? Mm-hmm.
Let's just say you're sitting there saying, boy, I really like what these guys are doing. I'm wondering how I could possibly help out.
I know.
How?
I told him to do a short one this time.
Go to patreon.com and become a Patreon.
Or a patron.
But yeah. Patron.
And there's a wide variety of levels that you can join in at and help support this podcast. So check it out, patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs.
Yeah.
We appreciate all the help you can give us.
We are growing, and we'd love you to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
Wow, look at that. Was very professionally said.
Well done,
Very thoughtful.
Jared.
Right on. Well, hey, thanks to everybody who's helping us out, whether you're just a regular person or one of the fine companies we've mentioned so far. We really appreciate it, and we're all part of a big guitar family, and it's cool. We got a lot of stuff going on. Ooh. We had a lot of stuff going on this week.
Ooh.
Let's talk about that real quick, and then we'll get into our super awesome Christmas list.
I can't wait.
And we're going to pour a little bit out for our homie Mike Trombley. Wherever you're at, buddy, He's been awful busy. I know he's going to school. He's building pedals, and he's got a girlfriend.
Yeah, bro.
Yes, indeedy.
Yep. So he'll be back soon. Anyhow, Jared.
Oh, man. As everybody knows, I do pickups for a living. I was repairing some 1966 Stratocaster pickups for a customer. And I don't really make it a habit to ask, hey, where did these pickups come from? Because I knew. But I just said, hey, just out of the blue, I said, hey, where did these pickups come from? He said, I bought a 1966 Stratocaster along with many other guitars at a guitar show. And I said, really? Long story short, I bought this thing. I bought a 1966 Fender Stratocaster. And it's been refinished at one point. There was a small route that somebody had put in the body. They also drilled through the pick guard, so I'm going to have my buddy here, Tony, try to fix that for me.
We're going to try using some vintage celluloid material to repair as unnoticeably as possible.
That's going to be a challenge, and that's what I'm pretty excited about right now. So I got the guitar in the mail, and everything checked out. Everything was legit. I mean, I picked this thing up for a song, man. The guy said, he said, hey, man, I've got plenty of money in this. Or I'm sorry, he said, I have plenty of room in this. Plenty of room. So there's plenty of money to be made if you want to flip it. So I'm going to have it restored to its original state. And then we'll see. I don't know. I might put it for sale, or I might just plug it in and keep it. So that's pretty much the excitement at my place right now.
And we will keep you posted as to how the pickguard repair transpires.
Before and afters, all that
we'll
good
do
stuff.
the whole thing. We're going to do it on probably on Instagram. There might be an appearance, and then we'll drop some info onto the Facebook page too.
That's right. I got a donor pickguard.
Yes. Where did that come from?
Oh, my buddy Dan Shin gave me a pickguard.
Yeah,
He had one laying around.
pickguard too.
Yeah, it's the same era. So
and
the color
the material looks the same.
Right. So I got really lucky on that. So thanks, Dan.
Tony.
Well, he says knowingly. So today, out of the blue, I wasn't even looking. I found a really interesting guitar. Without even looking for something, I just kind of stumbled on this auction for a. Basically, it's like a. In the world of Rickenbacker, we'd call them an 850 combo, and it is kind of the predecessor to the. Like the 325, 350, the John Lennon model, as many people recognize them as, except it has a carved top. And these would have come out in the late 1950s. So there was a builder that must have made one of these. I'm assuming he only made one. And as I did a little research on this, and there was a guy in Nevada that was asking a certain amount of money, which I thought was kind of low for a set neck, beautiful for a maple figured neck.
That's an awful lot of adjectives, man.
There's a lot. I'm the adjective king. So anyhow, long story short, I did a little quick research, found that this was made by a company who probably for the last 15, 20 years, their primary business was guitar refinishing in Nashville, but they also made a number of guitars. And so this one is actually really cool. And I had, after I committed to getting this, I contacted that company, and I actually also found out from their webpage that they're ceasing business. So as of at the end of November, they're basically not going to finish any more guitars. They'll be in doing stuff for the next 3 to 6 months. But the guy had the specs. This was from 2011, and when they were still building guitars, and he had all the specs and everything. And when I asked what the original price was on it, it was close to $2,000.
Oh, man.
And, I mean, I could tell that it was certainly worth more than what was being advertised. So, overall, I was pretty happy.
Oh, wow.
Pretty happy. But yeah, in addition to that, just after the post-Thanksgiving, playing catch-up at the shop and everything, that's about it for my guitar world.
I'm still doing that now, man.
I know you are. It is. And then with the holidays coming, it's going to be one of them things. Yeah. December is always a nightmare. So that's what I got. What about you, Todd?
Awesome. Well, I've been getting my fantastic packages from Pedal Genie in all the time, and this one was heavy. So I got the package. I was like, "Whoa, hey, this is a heavy package." And I opened it up, and there was a B-Tronics Overhive in it. Now, if you're not familiar with B-Tronics, they are a boutique pedal company. Their pedals look like something, almost out of like a video game or something. When you see like distressed, metal and like, if you think about like first-person shooters and stuff, and everything's all like scratched and dented and paint rubbed off and stuff. These things they look like some kind of freaky industrial thing that's gonna explode or something. They're amazing.
Sign me up.
So the Overhive is kind of like their main meat and potatoes, and it's got this massive. It looks like something out of like a submarine or something. It's like a huge knob on it, like a Fender bass knob. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Not quite a PV mixing console knob.
No.
You can turn with your foot.
Yeah.
It takes two hands to turn those PV knobs.
I think, it might have been. I'm not really sure what those ones with the PV mixing knobs are like, but is that?
Oh, they're bigger than that.
Well, but yeah, same style, right? Anyways, it matters not. Man, this pedal was nice.
And the bigger the knob, the better the pedal sounds.
Oh yeah. Well, duh. It's got a lamp on the side, which was really unique, and it's not a little tiny LED. It's a little jeweled lamp, and the actual box itself. When you're holding one of these, you're like, holy moly! So much thought went into just the aesthetic of this pedal. It's really something.
That's cool.
This sounded absolutely glorious. It had tons of power, but it also sounded really great when it wasn't using tons of power, and it was clean as a whistle. It was so quiet, and for like an overdrive, we talked about the dark glass one last time or time before that. The dark glass had almost a clinical sound to it, in the sense of, I guess you could almost say it sounded digital because it didn't have extra color or body. This has a little bit of that warmth, but it doesn't have any noise. It was like noiseless.
Wow.
And it's got a couple extra little switches, so it's just it's clever. The main knob is honey, because it's like it's the bee theme.
The hive, yes.
There's a body switch on it. There's like a hive switch so the hive makes it sounds like a little either bigger and fatter or tighter and thinner. Anyways, really impressed with that. Really, really impressed with that. I definitely want to check out some more. And I've been talking to them. I think they're going to be a guest on the show.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yes.
Wow. So is it more of an overdrive or a fuzz or both?
Oh no, it's an overdrive.
It's an overdrive.
Okay. It's totally an overdrive. So I tried that in a couple different places in my signal chain, and I really liked it. I especially liked it right after my Rat. It just woke it up. Like I didn't crank it. I just had it just enough. Like almost like running a boost because it was so clean sounding.
So kind of like the EP booster.
Yeah, I think it'll certainly this will certainly go.
Yeah.
So it's not. I don't want to be mistaken. It's not a boost, but at lower volumes, it kind of acted like a little bit of a boost.
Okay.
It didn't color it greatly, so I could run it after my Rat, and it gave it just enough extra boost and a little extra hair on it.
Okay.
But then when you start fiddling with the hive knob and the body switch, it's like that's when you start getting like the dynamics in there. It was great. I loved it.
Cool.
We're looking forward to check them out and the build on these things. I mean, I don't know of any other pedals that are building like this.
Other than Mike's.
Other than Mike's. Well, even Mike would. I think Mike would sort of like.
It's funny whenever he opens up a
bow
pedal.
to
That's
this.
just for he's looking at.
Yeah. Anyhow, so it was great fun. So and if you haven't checked out Pedal Genie, that's good stuff. I've been really happy with that getting pedals just sent to me, just like Netflix used to be. I guess nobody ever gets discs anymore, but I get a pedal every time I send one back. I get another pedal. It's great.
Nice.
So, woo-wee.
Nice.
Yeah, we don't have a 4 on the floor this week. Someday I might do mine. I don't know if I'm
You're
committed
saving
to
it for
that.
the
You have not.
I know.
You have not fully synthesized.
I know.
Your list.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
changes
if I'm
too
there.
much.
It kind of does. What's that?
Santa.
Yeah,
He's a coming.
he is a coming, and we are going to be ready with our list, everybody.
That's right.
All right. Super excited about this. We're going to list off, we each picked 5 things from reverb.com to which you can go check out on the list. You can go directly to the things that we are talking about and browse around other things if you so choose to.
Yes.
That's right.
How
can you not?
And we have not shared these yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. We have not shared these with each other, I should say. So these will be surprises. It's going to be very exciting. Okay. Spin the wheel of who goes first. Jared.
All right.
What do you want for Christmas, little boy?
What I want for Christmas from Santa Claus?
Besides 2 front teeth.
Yeah, besides 2 front. I got one this year, so I'm pretty happy about that.
This is true.
But the first present I would like to open would be a Fender Jazzmaster, a 1966 Fender Jazzmaster, all white with a tortoiseshell pickguard and with blocks and binding in the neck.
Blocks. Explain blocks.
Okay, the fret markers are block inlay.
Okay, so squares.
Yep.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
rectangles, squares,
Rectangles.
whatever.
Sorry, not squares.
And binding
rectangles.
around that. You barely ever see that on any Fender. So
Right.
I really
Now,
dig it.
is this a vintage American?
Well, I would be happy with made in Japan one because they actually do a great job building
Like
guitars.
the
And they're-
reissue?
Oh, yeah, they reissue. I mean, you're at what, $1,500 to $1,800 on a reissue. And 18's the higher mark, but it's better than, $7,000 to $8,000 for an original
Or
one.
more.
Or more.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, I'd love to have one of those guitars. I
No,
don't have a
but you're not
Jazzmaster.
a lot. Yeah, you're not like an offset. You don't have any offsets, do you?
I don't. It doesn't mean I
So
don't
is that
like
why?
them.
Yeah, but
I think that's why, yeah. Plus, well, mostly because of the pickup structure. That's a Jazzmaster pickup alone. The structure of that pickup is different than any other pickup that I've ever seen.
how so?
The coil itself is very, very thin. It's maybe an eighth thick of coil wire, where a normal Stratocaster, Jaguar, anything else is like a half inch.
Why are they so huge?
or
Because those are
3/8 of an
enormous
inch.
pickups.
Oh, they're flat like a pancake. So they're flat and thin. Like take a Stratocaster pickup and put it in a
Squish it.
squish it in a press,
It's like a pancake.
and you have just squash it right
other
down.
things
That's
that get
exactly
squished.
what they did.
And so what I think, at the time when Leo introduced the Jazzmaster, he was really wanted to market it to jazz guitarists.
Right.
And unfortunately, most jazz guitarists just said, not going to play that.
Yeah.
But I think the tone of the pickups is supposed to be maybe a little darker.
Well, yeah, because you've got a totally different magnetic flux because of the coil size and because of the way the pickup is shaped.
Yeah.
And the magnets are really, really, really short too.
So for people out there that may not be as familiar with the Jazzmaster, so a lot of people get confused with the Jazzmaster and the Jaguar. But the key thing at a distance. So if you walk into a guitar shop and you see a Jazzmaster and a Jaguar, the Jazzmaster is going to have the giant pickups in it.
That's right.
and is going to have a longer neck.
That's right.
Slightly.
Itty bitty, just a touch.
Yeah.
What kind of, like, when you guys are talking about the sound, how much different is the sound from the bridge to the neck? Or are they pretty similar?
You know, the heavier bass response in the neck area. Because a string is going to just, oscillate more in that position, because it's just more of towards the center of the string.
Yeah.
So it'll be a darker sound in the neck and
a twangier sound in the bridge.
Yeah.
And jazz guitarists, if they did catch on to this guitar, they would mostly use the neck pickup.
Well, I think what was interesting, one of the earliest users was Buddy Merrill from Lawrence Welk Show.
That's right.
I'm not a Lawrence Welk fan, but if it's on like PBS or something, I always
most of the people that are listening have no idea who Lawrence Welk is.
A 1 and a 2 and a thank you, Bobby, and a sissy.
Well, if you're an SNL fan.
Yeah. But anyhow, Lawrence Welk in the 1960s, maybe 50s, through the 80s, had kind of a variety show, I guess you'd call it. But I always watched to see, in the early episodes, Buddy Merrill was the guitar player on there. And he always played cool guitars. So even though it's kind of like orchestra music and dance music, I watch it just to see what he's playing.
Nice.
Thank you, Bobby, and a sissy.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else you got on your list?
Yeah.
I've got a lot of acoustic guitars, and I don't really have a great humidifying plan in my house. So I think that some individual humidifiers that you stick in between the strings and the sound hole would be good for the guitars. And when it's cold in the wintertime, your house dries out.
Cold and dry.
That's right. And what happens to your lacquer-based acoustic guitars? That's right, the finish cracks. Now, if you keep that wood moist and regulated, it'll protect the beauty of your guitar. So,
well, and then the other thing that dryness tends to do on acoustics is that makes
it can warp your top too.
Yeah, it basically forces. I mean, it makes the action considerably higher.
Yeah, if you're an acoustic string instrument person, even violin, orchestra type, musicians, they're also very aware of humidifiers.
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking at this Planet Waves GH acoustic guitar humidifier. You can find that on Reverb too. I think that's a great unit myself. I've seen a few of those in action.
And that one just slips right through the strings.
Yeah, it's basically a sponge that you wet. And here's my issue with these, because I'm guilty of it, is I probably have a dozen of those humidifiers laying around, and I'll put them in, and then I forget about them. And you got to crack cases to make sure that that the sponge that sits inside is still damp.
My logic is, if it's there and you open the case, you'll at least go and fill the sponge up with water again.
Yeah.
And at least it'll have that, when you open the case.
Now, are these the ones that look like the pool noodles?
No,
not really.
This is more of I think the Planet Waves one is like a plastic.
It's like an ovally, rectangle-y type of thing, and then it's got some perforated holes on the side of the plastic.
Okay. All right.
And there's like part of it sits in between the strings.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's pretty cool.
What else you got?
I'd have to have Santa talk to good old Hank with the rattlesnake cables. That's what that's next on the list. I need some 20-footers. Like 2 or 3 20-footers, and I'd want the orange ones. That's some nice orange 20-foot rattlesnake cables.
Will that match anything you currently have?
Probably my sparkly L6S.
Nice.
And your Guitar Nubs t-shirt.
That's right. But everybody's got to have some rattlesnakes. The next thing I'd want probably got to be a little pricey, and a lot of people can't really afford these things. It's
like
Martin,
me,
yeah, and like me, I'm just hoping Santa.
Right, but hey, if you never know, maybe you were really good this year, and Santa's going to hook you up.
I've been looking around at these Martin D45s. My dad always said, "Man, I want a Martin D45." He said that throughout my whole life. He never bought one, but so that kind of got me looking at these. And they're supposed to be, the top of the line Martin, that they make a lot of. Now they have some higher end,
Custom
astronomically priced, super Brazilian everything, whatever. But
Is that a searchable term?
Yes,
super Brazilian whatever.
Trust me.
No, but yeah, the D45 is kind of like if you made it
That's the top of the line.
especially like in country music. I mean, everybody had D45s,
Right.
Because it was a step up from a working man's guitar.
So
That's right.
describe a D45?
Well,
how do we know the difference?
All you have binding everywhere, like around the body, the neck,
down the center stripe.
down the center
back.
stripe. The headstock is going to have mother of pearl Martin spelled vertically, and you'll have the C before the F, or I'm sorry, before the M and then the F. You just have to look at it. So go on Reverb and look up Martin D45, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The inlays are kind of rectangle-y, but rounded.
But rounded rectangles.
Rounded rectangles. Tortoiseshell pickguard. The sound hole is decorated with mother of pearl. These things are gorgeous and they sound good too. So gold tuners. I mean, it's the top of the line, fancy schmancy.
It's the Cadillac of the Martin.
That's right. You could.
Which means nothing to the people that are actually
Right.
It's like the Oldsmobile.
Right. Or the Cadillac.
Okay. Now that's a pretty big ticket item there, Buster.
Yeah, I know, man.
And he
I'm
hasn't
over
been-
my head on
He
that.
has not been that good this year.
I do have a
No.
Martin at home, but it's not a D45. But I am proud of it. The next item on my list I would love to own, and is very possible to have in real life, is an AC-15. I want a Vox AC-15, and I want the hand-wired version.
Yes.
And
Perhaps you've seen one of those somewhere you visited.
this guy that makes pick guards. I like
That's
the
a big
black,
amp.
the black with the purpley grill. I think I'd like
Oh,
that.
you like the black?
The black with the purpley. The white, I'll have Cheetos one day, and then I'll use the amp, and I'll get Cheeto fingerprints on the white.
I don't know that
That's
they
pretty
make. I don't know
specific.
that they
Yeah.
make the hand wired in black though.
I don't know if they do either. I didn't see one. I think
The anniversary version is. So
Okay.
it's not. It wouldn't be a vintage one, but it would be anniversary.
I don't have to get a vintage one. If I'm stuck with getting the white color, that's fine.
You
I'll
could
just
always
wear
have
gloves.
it recovered.
Yeah. Why would I do that? They're on Reverb, man. They're about like $1,300. Anywhere from $1,100 to $1,300, somewhere around there. That's very doable.
Now the bigger question is, what speaker would you want in that?
Oh, my goodness.
Great question.
You know what? I would probably refer to your advice on that.
Well, then you want the Celestian Blue.
Okay. That's all Nico, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
A lot of the HWs come in with I think they have greenbacks in them. I think that's what mine had in it originally. And I upgraded my speaker to the Alnico Blue.
Now, is there a vintage version of that they made in the 60s?
Of the Alnico?
Of the Alnico? Like
Yeah,
the
that's
blue?
if you get a UK-made Celestian Alnico Blue, it is, I won't say it's exactly the same, but it's very similar.
Okay. So that's the comparison.
Yes.
That's very cool. I gotta have one of those. I mean, a lot of artists use those. They're great amps. Of course, I'd want the 15 watts so I don't blow the roof off my house. But
I believe the one you're talking about is called Fawn.
Yes.
Okay.
Fawn is the official color.
that's
Yes.
the color of cover on that amp. Yeah.
That's 5.
That's quite a
Yeah,
list.
that's a couple bucks right there, Santa.
That's taken away from our monies.
Right.
If we were all pooling together with
It's
Santa.
a lot of money, man. Please
Well-
get me that stuff.
Yeah. Tony,
Yes. Well, I have an extensive list
I'm sure you
of
do.
all ranges.
Yes. Well,
From-
give me 5, baby.
I'm going to give you 5. I'm actually going to give you you 6 because I was extra good. Extra good this year.
Okay. Extra.
All right, so from this is from low to high.
My editing is going to be so much fun.
I like it.
Yes. So the first thing, and anybody that's been to my shop knows that I collect Fender lunchboxes.
That's right.
And mini
amps.
Okay, and explain what that is.
So
put your lunch in a box?
every year or so, Fender releases a metal decorated lunchbox.
Still? Or is
yeah.
that only vintage? Like,
Oh no! It's
every year they do this?
Yeah, every year or two.
Yeah.
So they have a new one out, and I get them. So I don't know why.
Why stop now? Right.
Well, what I do with mine, I actually store tubes inside my lunch boxes because I figured an amp would eat tubes for lunch if it ate lunch.
Man.
That's my twisted lunch.
Gotcha.
You know what else you can put in your lunchbox?
I know.
Beers?
A ham
That's right.
a ham sandwich.
Right.
Okay, anyways.
So anyhow, the first thing on my list at a very reasonably priced $25 to $30 would be a Fender Vintage Catalog lunchbox. And they just came out in 2017.
Okay.
And it's basically got graphics from the, it's like vintage Fender catalogs.
Okay.
But in addition, it's stuffed with all kinds of cool stuff. I think there's a strap and maybe some
Really?
strings and picks.
These are
and stuff.
$25?
$25.
That's
Look
awesome.
It up. Look it up.
I will.
I'm
sounds like
going to give
As
you a
soon
link.
as soon as
Sounds
I
like cool.
get out of my commute and stop driving, I'm going to go look this up.
You do that. Then the second thing on my list is a set of Fender Telecaster guitar bookends. And those are running about $50, $55. And what they actually come from Fender, and it's like the top half of a Fender Telecaster split in two, and it's mounted onto a like for bookends, for bookshelves.
Who the hell pitched this idea to Fender?
I think they just had a bunch of garbage laying around the shop.
It's smart.
Throw it on the bandsaw. Okay.
Hey, throw that on my list too.
Okay. You got it.
Cool.
All right. Jared, we'll fill you in on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've actually seen them, and they're really cool. It's their actual size.
If you say that you want one of the lamps that's made out of a half of a guitar, then guess what? You're done here.
You're done. Your time is done.
That'll be it.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I'm seeing those on Craigslist, and I want to throttle who's ever doing that. That's just terrible.
Oh yeah, they're
awful.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Uh-oh.
Alrighty, so we've got the lunchbox, we got the bookends. And that's the reasonably priced things.
all right, here we go.
We're moving into
We're dealing.
uncharted waters.
Do it.
So the next thing on my list is a Marshall refrigerator.
Oh man, I know where one of those needs to go.
It is the coolest thing ever. I saw one at a NAMM show probably, I don't know, 5.
We can
6,
make
7.
one actually. I
And
got an old cab.
it's like a mini fridge,
right.
and it's got like the front edge of a Marshall on it, and it's just super super cool.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
a
you
great
can
idea.
you can look that up, and those run. I mean, I've seen them for maybe a little bit less, but they're in the $300, $350 price range.
Oh.
That's cool.
But they look really cool.
Yeah.
And it's got like it's got knobs and it's got the switch and everything. So the only thing I did comment to them, I don't know that they ever took my advice. I said is they needed to put a little bulb in the switch so that when you flip the
Right.
switch on, the refrigerator's on.
There you go.
But they didn't. They probably didn't.
Well,
take
we
Or
it.
at
can do
least
that
when
with
you
yours.
open the door, the light's on.
That would be extremely cool. Oh, I skipped over one.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Let's back up to the about $200 price range.
I think that fireball shot's hitting him right about now. All right.
So I want a Vox MV50 AC.
What are you talking about?
This is one of the, we talked about this a couple of episodes ago.
I wasn't.
And it's
there.
one of these it's a Vox head that uses this new tube technology. It's like a transistor tube. And
Wow.
and they're super inexpensive.
What's it called?
It's a Vox MV50
MV50
AC.
AC.
as in AC30.
So not unlike the
There's
little
a VU meter on it.
Well, it's very unlike that because there is a some sort of fluorescent tube, but not a true tube, like a vacuum tube, as we would call. But it's in there. It's a new technology. I forget which class it was. Mike was in on the episode, and we were talking about the various classes of tubes. And this is something that Vox put out, I think, just this past year. And they're super inexpensive, super lightweight. I mean, it's a little 50-watt head that you can hook up to just about any cabinet. And so that's on my list.
It looks like a radio, and it's got a VU meter on it.
Interesting.
So that's definitely. I mean, that would be a cool one to have. I haven't tried one out yet, but I think I would like to try one out.
Okay.
I would like to have one.
Well, it's not cost prohibitive, so it's worth trying out.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
And then you can always flip it on reverb or something
Yep.
if you don't like it. And if you do like it, you don't flip it.
True.
So number 5 on my list, and this is one I actually I guess I've had one. I haven't had a really good one though. I am a guild sucker in addition to being a Rickenbacker sucker.
I'm a fan of those too. Like not all. I'm not just like a blanket guild guy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think there's some of the best acoustic guitars out there. I want
agree.
a JF30 12-string. And it's not a very ornate guitar. It's kind of the working man's 12-string.
Did Paul Simon play one of those in the early years?
I think he had an F, not a JF.
Well, I know he played guild acoustic
He did.
guitars.
He did.
The early days.
Yeah, there were a lot of people. John Denver played guild guitars.
Guild, yeah. They're a good brand.
So they're really cool. They're not terribly expensive. I mean, for a decent instrument. I mean, that's why I have a lot of guilds in my collection. Is because
like about $1,000.
they're between 1,000 and 1,300.
Remember,
maybe.
people, it's not the name on the headstock that matters.
That's true.
It's the sound that comes out of the sound hole.
Well, the thing with a JF, that's a jumbo body,
Yeah,
and they are just loud
Boomy.
and bassy,
nice.
and they're just wonderful instruments. So I don't have a good acoustic 12-string.
Have you played one?
Oh yeah. I've had several in my hands.
Oh,
and
okay.
over the years I've had one or two in my collection that I think one of the things you run into with 12 strings in particular, especially acoustic 12s, is eventually they all need neck resets.
Really?
Yeah,
The tension from the strings
It's
is
unbelievable.
just pulling on that neck.
100 pounds.
1 million pounds.
That's a lot of poundage.
It's a lot of pounds.
a lot of tonnage.
Half a ton.
Hey, if you get this 12-string, buddy, you can play the song Annie's Song.
I
by
could do
John Denver.
Dude, hey, that song brings me to tears, man. Like legitimately.
My dad used
That
to do
song.
that all the time.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I'll walk in
Yeah, anyways.
rain by your side.
That's
Okay.
not the song.
No, that's not the song,
That's
but
not-
anyways.
oh,
no.
you fill up my senses.
Okay, copywriting. Okay, go ahead.
I only used a half a line. So, as I said, I've been extra good this year. I mean, so sick
Yeah,
and sweet
right.
good. So, Santa, if you're listening, I would like a Rickenbacker 381.
You should have one, daggone it.
Now, a 381 is the top of the line Rickenbacker.
So it's like the D45 of Martin.
It's more like the D55.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or D65.
You're going a step above.
Yeah.
So that's Petty's guitar, right?
Nope.
No?
So you're
Okay.
you're talking block inlays, all the
Goodness sakes.
extra bells and whistles. And
I mean,
whatnots.
it's like all the best maple goes into these guitars. They're just sickening in
Yeah.
terms of their figuring.
not only extra stuff, but like they nitpick
and
the
they're
wood.
thick, but they've got a German carve on the top as well as the bottom, plus binding with checkerboard binding. And I'm a sucker for anything with checkerboard binding.
Yeah.
That's
Those look fantastic.
They're beautiful instruments, and I mean, they're not so crazy priced. I mean, I would have a hard time writing a check for one of these, but I mean, between $3,000 to $5,000, you can find one any day of the week.
Yeah, that's not.
I mean,
terribly
for
bad.
for what it is,
it's
an expensive guitar, but for what it is, they're just beautiful instruments.
A lot of musicians would look at that as an investment.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Same with the Martin.
Yeah. So that was my 5+1 for being so good this year.
Yeah, you're a good boy.
Thank you.
Yeah. What about you, old buddy Todd?
All right.
What do you want, man?
I want a lot of things, man.
I know.
I want a lot of things. But I'm not going to get too freaky, greedy, or anything here. I mean, yes, I am. I'm going to start at the low end and work my way up.
Okay.
Okay. The first thing is the Beatles complete scores.
What? Yeah, I've got one of those upstairs.
Of course you do.
A complete score. Let me ask.
So this is literally every song.
Yeah. How
Yes.
long? My question was going to be. Let me ask you. How long will it take somebody from start to finish to complete every record?
210 titles.
Well, you know.
That's a lot.
So 3 to 8 minutes per song.
Yeah, so this is basically 111, no, 1,100, 1,100. I'm good at math. And numbers, too. 1,100 pages. It's all the scores and everything. My daughters are, like, really nuts about Beatles and stuff right now. And they're musicians as well. And so, like, I thought this would be rad to have at the house to like, get them to play as well.
Perfect gift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little complicated because they do put all of the parts in there.
Yeah.
Right.
But the beauty of it is, I think almost all of them are transposed to the proper recorded key.
Yeah.
Which
Full scores and lyrics, too.
Yeah.
But I'll skip the first, like, album or two.
Oh, see how he is.
I don't like that business.
See how he is.
It's too saccharine. For me, whatever. Okay. Next up, everybody.
At least now you're going to be getting all the Beatle lover hate mail instead of the stainless
Mine
steel
only
Fred
had
hate
a-
mail.
Well, that's true.
The next one is the Roland Go mixer.
Oh,
Audio
kinda
mixer.
cool.
Yeah, so it's a 5-input recording interface, which is really cool because it goes directly into your phone. So I can actually plug in 2 XLR inputs into this. Now you need the adapter kit, like one of those little adapters that go into
oh,
it.
the adapters,
The
not
adapters.
the B-adapters.
But essentially, it replaces the need to have a computer. If you're going to record something, especially if you're doing like an Instagram or you're doing a demo or you're doing band practice or recording some riffs or whatever, you can hook up a mic, right? Throw a little 57 on your amp, Shure 57 on your amp, plug it into the Go mixer, plug the Go mixer into your phone, hit record video or audio. I think you can, either one of them.
We have to buy it to see.
Yeah, and blammo. I mean, it sounds
That's nuts,
awesome.
man. That's nuts because in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you'd have to go to a drive to a place, and they'd have a giant mixing board with all this equipment. It's all analog, and then
Well, they're not recording albums.
And
on
then
this,
it
but,
went to,
I mean, maybe that's something.
the
Somebody will try
Tascam
to do.
cassette tape recording thing.
Tascams.
Yeah,
Right?
But
And
in the
now
last
it's
10
to
years,
your
even
phone.
it's
Crazy.
yeah. So the last 5 years, there hasn't really been a very effective way of doing this,
Nuts.
and this is one of the first things that I've run across. Mike Trombley has one in Red House, and we did a little recording a little while ago, and I was totally blown away by it. So that is on my list.
What do those run?
Those are about $100.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
Now,
Crazy
here's the
group.
thing: when you get it and you look at it, you're like, this thing's $100 because it weighs about as much as a coaster, and it's all plastic. But
But it is the finest plastic that you
it
can
does
possibly purchase.
what other things can't. to my knowledge. Now,
The
if you're out
technology
there,
is what you're buying.
totally. If you're out there, and it's, the nice thing is, it's, I was like, this thing's all plastic and shit. But like, yeah, but it's perfect if you got like a little backpack or something. You just throw it in there and you can go.
It can't be heavy either. If it's plugged into your phone, you'll.
No,
And
it weighs nothing.
So I mentioned recording guitar, but you can also do vocals into it. Wow. You can do anything that you can record. It goes into it, not just XLR stuff. So
it's really cool.
Yeah, you can do MIDI right into it too. Super cool.
Wow.
Let's see. Next up, of course, I got some pedal action going on in here. I ran across this very interesting pedal company that I hadn't heard before, and I'm probably gonna say it wrong, but I'm gonna try here. It's called the Fat Get, Gett, and it's by Champion Leccy, Leccy. Okay, and it's Champion Leccy hand painted devices and effects. That's what you can search
Could
for.
be Lecky.
So could be Lecky. I don't know. This person, if you're listening, give me a line, drop me a line, and tell me how it's pronounced, and we'll start up a conversation.
I want to hear why it called the pedal that name. So you got to call this guy.
Well, it's really cool because this is it's listed as a glitchy harmonic octave fuzz.
That thing looks really cool.
It looks cool, and the graphics on this are really fun.
That's cool.
So the knobs on here are really interesting because there's a lot of them, which is fun. But this guy had a ton of fun building these pedals. There's one called Gut, and there's one called Bloat, and then right under it, there's a little hand painted undershirt tank top thing with a little pot belly. And then
cool.
Then the foot switch is the Bloat foot switch, and that's got an LED. And then this is gonna sound hilarious, probably to some, or stupid to others. I love lightning bolts. I think lightning bolts are cool. And this has a great big yellow lightning bolt on it, painted.
Yeah.
And that's right under the thing that says Podge. I don't know what Podge does.
Pudge.
And then over to the right, there's two hairy pink arms reaching down with long fingers. And one says girth and one says furs.
Minus the hair, it looks like something out of Cat in a Hat, doesn't it?
It's crazy, man. Yeah, and then the foot switch is for furs. So, but I listened to it. It sounds mean. It's like it's all the fuzzy craziness that I like. Yeah. So this made me happy. And each one of the pedals is done different. So they all have different themes and different characters on them. You should definitely go. If nothing else, check it out, and you can see what all of these. There's like monster feet with painted toenails and underwear and all kinds of stuff on here.
Blue underpants.
Yeah, and legitimately, aside from like the hand painted part, which is really cool, they sound wicked cool. I like them. They're noise machines. So I'm definitely gonna look into this brand a little bit more. I'd like to get a hold of them. And those go for about $230, I think, around that price range.
That's all doable.
Yes. Okay, so that's 3 for me, right? We're inching up on I'm not going to go into Tony Land and do 6. Oh, heck yes, I am. I'm going to do the Caroline Shigeharu Icy Fuzz octave. It's got tons of knobs, and guess what? It's got a lightning bolt on it, man.
Is it fuzz?
Yeah, it's fuzz plus octave.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, but it's not just like, it's not an octave pedal. It doesn't sound like a one of these over the top octave type pedals. It's got a bias and gate for controlling or dialing up the broken spitty kind of ness of it.
This pedal looks all business.
Yeah, this is a like legit business pedal. And there's also a side switch that locks the octave up, and it converts it to a momentary
Mr. Momentary.
or a kill mute switch, which is really cool.
There it is.
And obviously in Caroline Guitar Companies makes really good stuff. So this is a good deal for Santa to get for me. And those go from I've seen a couple listed in here. They're around $200, but something else that's a really nice feature is if you're not sure, like, is this a good deal or not, the price guide is kind of built into these things is really helpful. So if you're not familiar with that, make sure you're looking for it, because it's just about everything that you see on here will have a price guide associated with it, so you can compare old prices, what they went for. It even tracks like how
Trends.
how your trends are, so you can see like, wait, why was everybody buying the Shigeharu fuzz?
They just like saying that. That's the only reason they bought it.
In winter of 2017. Because they were listening to the podcast.
That's
Really?
right.
Yeah.
Holy Shigeharu.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good one, Tony. I like that.
I like it.
All right. Okay, let's get on to some stuff that actually you can hang from your neck. I found this really cool guitar from one of my favorite brands to watch on Instagram, Rock and Roll Relics. And this is called a Jazz Bastard. It completely grabbed my attention right away. It looks like a Jazz Master body-ish. Kind of.
It's going to sound
It's like a cross
like
between a
Tele.
Jazz Master and a Telecaster.
Yeah, it's going to sound like a Tele.
Yeah, it's got.
Oh, yeah,
it
it's
has
set up.
Telecaster appointments,
Telecaster
bridge,
electronics, but it
control
has
plate.
the front end, the back end of it looks like a Telecaster, but with a arm cut or you know,
Contour.
a contour.
It also
and it has a belly cut. And then the forward horn that your strap hooks up to looks like a Jazz Master.
Yeah, that's a Jazz Master body.
I want
Well,
it.
you were standing on your head when you were looking at it. So.
But it's already kind of like, relicked up a little bit, so it looks like it's been through some gigs, and it's got a wide range pickup in the neck, which I'd probably replace and put the Brandon Wounds in there. It's got a black pick guard, and it's made the color is really interesting because it's kind of like it's like a orangey red, at least in the pictures.
Not like a Fiesta red.
No, it's a little bit more. I can't stand Fiesta red.
That's too bad.
This has got a little bit of translucency to it. You can see the grain in the wood. It's a little bit more orangey than Fiesta red.
Okay.
Maple neck, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think he likes it a lot.
And it's called it's called the Rock and Roll Relics Jazz Bastard Rare D'Allen's Faded Red.
They have aged nickel hardware on that, and an interesting fact is
it looks cool.
Fender
that way.
really didn't ever use nickel on the
No, they did
Telecasters.
not.
They used chrome.
Chrome.
So that aged nickel gives it a whole new look that you've never seen before.
Right.
I think that really adds to the design of the guitar. It looks great.
Yeah, breathe.
I am.
All right, and then the next thing. This is the I've been good this year.
Is
Little
this number
extra.
6?
This is number 6.
Bonus.
And there is, I believe there's one of these. I think there's one of them made. It's the Dymel Guitar Works Firestar Artist Edition Berlin Tonight.
Nice.
It's the offset, and this is the thing that I saw the first time that made me go, holy crap, what is this company doing? And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this also, this has the Leslie effect in it. So the automatic, it's got the Leslie rotary.
It's in the guitar.
Yeah, he created this little circuit to put it in there.
That is so cool.
I love this. We've had him on the show.
Go back and
I'm
listen
still
to it.
talking to him. I consider him a friend now, and the art that goes into these from Cora Younger. They're fantastic. A little bit about this particular guitar. The thing's covered in amazing handmade graphics. It's like pop art style, German pop art. It's just the most punk cool thing I've ever seen.
It is.
It's got anodized purple tuning keys, which if someone said, "Hey, you want some anodized purple tuning keys?"
Sign
I'd be
me
like,
up.
I
You
wouldn't know
guys
what to
me,
say.
And you know me. I would want those.
But it looks perfect on this guitar. It's got orange dot inlays. Like, that's amazing.
Great.
It's got a uncovered zebra humbucker
Yeah.
in the bridge position on a brass 3-saddle bridge.
A single coil.
And
in that.
it's a tremolo bridge,
Yeah.
or, vibrato. And then the single telly style pickup,
single
kind of like a quarter pounder up towards the neck. And by quarter pounder, I don't know if it's a quarter pounder, but I'm saying that's what it kind of like.
Quarter
Well, the
magnets.
quarter
Reminds
inch,
me
a
of.
quarter pounder has it looks like a normal lipstick pickup, but it very well could have the large magnets.
Yeah, looking at this a little closer, it does look like it has the slightly larger magnets in there. But the cool thing is, I mean, one of the cool things, it's got a translucent, it's not totally transparent, but it's got a translucent pick guard that's kind of like almost like a baby, like a sky. It's got like kind of a bluey tint to it. So you can see all the circuitry underneath. It's
a wild
freaking
looking
cool,
guitar.
Man, this is cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, I've sung the praises of Frank many times, Frank Dimel, but he's a great guy, makes great guitars. Check it out.
Maybe there'll be one in the mail.
Ooh, yeah, right.
Straight from Germany.
Yeah. That's
Italian.
It's Italian again.
So
We were talking about that before the show.
if you're in Germany, I'd look this guy up.
Yeah.
He's a really great guitar.
You can apologize to all the Germans for.
I'm sorry, guys. I have German in my blood, so
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah, clearly. Oh, man. All right. That was a lot of really cool stuff.
Yes.
I can't wait to put this list together and get it out there.
Oh, that's
going to be a
cool.
lot of work.
Yeah.
But it'll
Santa's
be
gonna
worth
laugh
it.
at my D45.
I am too,
Quest.
actually. But so anyhow,
Is it time for Would You Rather?
well, it is now because you did your thing.
I did it. Let's do it.
Obviously.
Okay, guys. You wake up in the morning. You got your pink bunny pajamas on, and you go down the stairs.
What are
What are pajamas?
Pajamas. What is that?
I think it's an Italian thing.
You got your pink bunny pajamas. I can't
Why-
say pajamas.
You got one more time.
Pink bunny pajamas with the rabbit ears and everything flopping.
Okay, wait. Okay, start.
Little Ralphie.
Just start. Just
All right.
take a breath.
So you get up in the morning, Christmas morning, and you go down the stairs. Would you rather see?
What are you wearing?
You're wearing a pink bunny pajama suit, the full suit, just like you see in the movie.
Okay.
And there's a guitar case, a nice flat guitar case, and it's a Fender. Would you rather see a Fender Jazzmaster in that case?
What color is the case?
The case is going to be tweed, right?
I like a tweed case. I'm not upset with that.
I'm thinking you probably want to either see a tan one or maybe a black one.
A black one? And it's got the Fender logo in the corner.
Yeah.
So you open the case. Would you rather see a Jazzmaster, a Fender Jazzmaster, or a Fender Jaguar?
Okay. What color is the Jazzmaster?
Jazzmaster is going to be the sunburst tortoiseshell pickguard, and just as I want, it's going to be a 66. It's going to have the block inlays and the bounded neck.
Bound.
The bounded.
Or bounded.
neck. The neck that was bound to be binded with binding.
Yeah.
It's bound to be bound.
Right. Or
Or how about the Jaguar?
the Jaguar
We should just keep it apples to apples. Same color.
is
Same year,
Okay.
same color.
okay. All right.
Same
I was
year,
going to
same
say
color?
candy apple red, but
Ugh.
let's same everything. What guitar would you rather have? That's where we're trying to get at.
That's right. It gets down to the nuts and bolts at that point.
What guitar would you rather? There's two main differences I can think of.
Okay. What are those two main differences?
Well, you got the scale of the neck.
Okay.
Okay. The Jaguar's going to be a little shorter,
Uh-huh.
and you've got the pickups. And
How much a little bit shorter are we talking about for those at home who are listening in the
So-
car driving?
Standard Fender scale length,
Mm-hmm.
is what we call standard, is 25 and a half.
Okay.
Meaning from the nut to the bridge is 25 and a half inches.
right.
Gotcha.
Jaguars are 24 inches. So it's an inch and a half. I mean, it's not totally
So
noticeable.
where are they losing deep? I can't.
You
Why,
actually-
I
you
can't
actually-
even talk
Jaguar,
like
you
it.
You
lose if
actually
you play the
gain an
Jaguar.
extra fret on a Jaguar
Yeah.
because it's a shorter scale length,
Mm-hmm.
so it has 22 frets instead of 21.
Right.
Perfect for that extra fret that you just got to have.
Yeah, when 21 isn't enough,
Right.
you're reaching,
Right.
you're trying to get there, and
Right.
boom, you just slide up to that 22nd fret.
There it is.
It's there.
All right.
That's the sound you want.
Now the
I
pickups
don't go
are
down
different as well.
there too often.
Yeah.
Cowboy quarter.
Okay. Tony.
I'm going Jaguar.
What?
There's something about the shorter scale length that I really like.
So you're more of how it feels than how it sounds.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Totally. I mean, I've never had a problem with sound out of a Jaguar. Mm-hmm. I've owned quite a few of them over the years. But the thing that I really there's usually a couple of problems with either a Jaguar or a Jazzmaster. You like how I say Jaguar?
You know I do.
That's for our UK listeners.
Jaguar.
It's a Jaguar. The tremolo is a great tremolo, except a lot of times the break angle from the trem to the bridge is a little shallow, so the strings tend to pop out of the slots. Now, there are some fixes like a mastery bridge and different things like that. But what I typically do on Jags or anything that have a 24-inch scale is I'll use a set of 12s on there. So a 12 to, 12 to 50 sound, 48, 50. But because of the short scale length, they feel like a set of 10s.
I get it.
And that's the beauty of a shorter scale length.
Cool.
And then, of course, having that 20-second fret. I mean, that just does it for me.
Yeah.
But the pickups are actually pretty cool too, because they're similar to Strat pickups.
They have a claw.
But they have a metal claw that
They've got the claw.
apparently was designed to focus the
Magnetic
magnetic field.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty
And
cool.
so it's like it's maybe.
Why don't we see that anymore?
I don't think you see it anywhere but on Jag pickups.
But that's my point. There's loads of single coil pickups. Why aren't other ones using that?
I don't know.
I wish I knew that answer.
Maybe it didn't work.
It works to some extent.
So it doesn't work.
It doesn't really work.
Well,
Okay, you got me.
actually, I bet
Yeah.
it does work a little bit. And
It's
maybe they
got
wanted
oil
to keep.
caps
They wanted
instead of
to keep
gumdrops.
that. They wanted to keep that feature on the Jaguar, so you would buy their Jaguar.
Yeah, I mean at the
It
time
does look cool though.
I mean, when
Yeah.
Jags came out, Jags were the top of the line Fender. I mean, I think Jags cost more than Strats or Tellys of the same era. So they
for
were
sure.
top of the line.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they were going for. I mean, I've never been a big fan of the circuitry. Any Jag that I've had, I've just kind of bypassed there's a rhythm circuit on the upside that you can have a preset rhythm tone, and then when you're ready to go into your lead, you flip the switch.
Sure.
It doesn't do anything.
There are many bells and whistles, but a lot of them do the same thing. It's just the position on the pickup.
There are many bells and whistles.
That's correct.
So I'm going Jag.
Huh?
Jared.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go Jazzmaster because the pickup structure. It's a very different pickup structure to any other guitar that I have. The closest you have to that kind of structure of that pickup, the way it's built, is a P90, and it's still not even close. So I'm more towards the Jazzmaster because of that, and the scale length, I guess. But actually, to be honest, that's not really a big deal to me, because I'm always switching from Fender to Gibson scales anyway. So what's the difference to me? I'm not going to really notice that. Well, I will notice, but it's not really going to bother me. So I'll go with the Jazzmaster all the way.
All right.
I'm going Jazzmaster too because I don't want to mess around with all the buttons and crud.
Well, you got the same.
Like
button.
I mean, they look the Jag looks so cool, and like I mean, I think one of my favorite shows that I went to was Johnny Marr, and look, there's few things cooler than a dude in a cool suit, a cool mod suit playing a wicked Jag that man, too cool. But I don't need to be playing that. For one, I think the pickups are a little thin for me, and all the knobs and fiddly bits, like
fiddly bits.
yeah.
Fiddly bits.
I mean, I like knobs and stuff, but
Big knobs, especially apparently.
not as many on my guitar. Yeah, I like.
Well,
I'm not that kind of player.
Do you understand? I mean, there's really, in terms of knobs and switches and things,
Yeah.
it's almost identical to a a Jag and a Jazzmaster are almost the same. The only difference is the Jazzmaster.
There's some more switches, man.
Well, there's 3 switches. 2 of them are pickup switches.
Yeah.
The third switch is like a strangle switch or a high pass switch.
Yeah.
And the only difference is you've got that switch plate there with 3 switches versus a standard toggle. But the upper section is the same. The lower section is the same.
But that's like one of those things. It's like, no, that's too much. Just give me a toggle. I'm good.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's what I'm going with. It's my decision.
And final.
Yes. Woo-wee. All right, guys.
Wow.
This has been fun. I love talking about this stuff.
Good stuff. Christmas time.
Good cracker.
Listen up, everybody who's listening. Listen up, everybody who's listening. We'd like to remind you, Reverb.com is a marketplace just for musicians all over the world. You can buy, sell, make offers, and negotiate with complete protection. I've done that. Whether you're selling from home or if the music gear is your day job, there are millions of listings online already, and it's free to list yours too. Join the musicians marketplace at Reverb.com. We need to say thank you to our executive producers for their support of this podcast. We have one of the newer members, John Daly. I hope I'm saying that right.
Welcome.
Robin Smith, Derek Fitzer, Pete Marshall, Carlos Mancha, sorry. But,
I just
potato,
built
potato, I'm
pickups
not really
for
sure.
him.
Mancha, Matt Brammer, David Wolfson, Martin Cliff, and Tom Barazin. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you would like to become an executive producer, head on over to patreon.com/The Guitar Knobs
Get your
to
name right
find out how. Yes, Jared, you worked that in just in the nick of time. We sure do like you guys participating out there on the socials and everything. Please continue to do so.
We love
Tony,
hearing from you.
Yes.
We do.
Yes, we truly do. Tony,
Yes.
where can people find out how to get cool pick guard stuff?
What?
That's easy for you to say. Well, there's a number of ways. Of course, pickguardian.com.
Yep.
That's probably the easiest way. But you can also check Pick Guardian out on social media.
Okay.
You can either do a search for Pick Guardian or you can use Pick Guardian and the number 1.
Okay. Excellent.
Cool.
Jared?
Well, if you have pickup needs or wants, it doesn't matter. Go to brandonwoundpickups.com and look at some of my products there. I also have a rewind service and to repair any pickups you have. And
Is this your business voice?
It is. And if there's anything there that you don't see, please drop me a line and ask.
He does custom work. I know this firsthand.
A lot of crazy custom work.
Crazy.
So, yep.
Cool, man.
No question is dumb with me. Just ask it. I enjoy those questions anyway.
All right. Was The Sound of Music really shot in Austria?
Portions were.
Okay. Subscribe!
Yeah.
I was sitting there. Hey. I was sitting here. I'm just waiting to go.
Dude, you could totally grow a
Mustache? Say
no, I mean not
words.
just a mustache.
A handlebar mustache.
No,
No?
a Tom Selleck mustache. You got a thick mustache, man.
hell? Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Guitar Knobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.